Hi guys, in today's video we're going to check out a bigger brother from the Vortex 240. Right here we have ANTEC's, the largest AIO that they have, the new one, the ANTEC VORTEX 360 addressable RGB AIO. And it's the same thing as the 240 in terms of fans. Now, these are the fans that you get inside right here. So today we're going to actually use the same case and all the same components, and I'm doing this just to show you guys how everything looks and how it works. So I will place the 360 on front and use the Fusion 120 triple pack and cover all the other outtake fans with the Fusion 120. So it's going to have all 6 fans possibility with the Fusion 120. Now, what's inside this box, since we covered this in the Vortex 240, but just here to show you guys that you can actually combine these. And this is really awesome because, as already stated in the Vortex 240, it's really cool to have a possibility to pair up an AIO fan and additional fans, because it's not going to be everything based on your AIO. And you want to have somewhat, let's say, singularity when it comes to fans. Easier to control, easier to, I would say, adjust the fan curve and fan speeds because they're all the same. Now, I'm not going to go too much into technical specifications since we covered that with Vortex 240, but I'm going to mention some things that I think I might have skipped in the Vortex 240. So the fans, as you can see, they're identical when we're talking about Fusion 120, but I already covered that. Now, what's interesting about these fans is that on both sides you have rubber pads which are already pre-applied on the fans, so 4 of them on each side, which kind of dampen the vibration, making less noise when the fans rotate, which is good. Now, the connection here, I think I mentioned that part, but nevertheless, 4-pin PWM and 3-pin addressable RGB headers. They aren't possible to be daisy chained, unfortunately, which would be quite outstanding. But what we have right here, and I'm going to open it right away, let's see, we have a controller, and I think this one is actually the same one as we have in the Vortex 240. So, possibility to connect up to 4 addressable RGB devices. And Vortex 240 has the same one, which leaves you in Vortex 240 one spare addressable RGB header, which is cool. If you want to use additional fans, as already stated, you know, I placed the pump, I placed 2 fans from the AIO, and I placed 1 Fusion fan at the back. Right here, we cover everything. So, 3 addressable RGB fans go on each of the headers, and the pump top also goes on one. You have a possibility for a cable right here for a switch, which I honestly can't find here in the box, which is a bit strange, but nevertheless, the thing is, this gives you an opportunity to control the RGB even if you don't have it on your motherboard. So for instance, you have a motherboard which is too old or anything similar in that terms, which doesn't have an addressable RGB 3-pin 5-volt header. You want an addressable RGB AIO or something to pimp up your PC. This one can actually work without it. So you use the SATA power connected to your SATA power from your power supply, and that's it, because the fan connection for your speed needs to go directly to your motherboard. So it will be really cool, and this is what they did. You have here a splitter which goes in 3 ways, so all 3 fans are connected to 1 PWM header on your motherboard. That's outstanding. The pump needs to go separately because the RPMs are completely different. So that way in BIOS you can adjust the fan speeds and you can adjust the pump speed. That's cool. Here, without the addressable RGB header on your motherboard, with the mode button here on top, you can adjust the colors as you wish. I mean, literally, you have loads of modes which give you a static color, any of your choosing. You have varieties of rainbow effect, spectrum, or just double colors shifting into each other. Let's put it that way. If for some reason you actually do have an addressable RGB header on your motherboard. Then you have this cable running out of the controller, which gives you an option to connect it directly to your motherboard and control it directly with motherboard software, which is quite cool. Gives you two options, and ANTEC basically didn't leave anybody behind because they didn't stick to I don't know, addressable RGB header. It has to be addressable RGB header. No support for motherboards that don't have addressable RGB header. So basically, ANTEC is thinking of everyone in this scenario, which is quite cool. Now, as I already stated, we're going to place this 360 on front of the case and going to run the same configuration. So sorry guys for running again on 5600G, but I want to use the same processor so we can compare the results, we can compare basically everything. So let's check it out. Vortex 240 against Vortex 360. It's not usual to have a battle between AIOs from the same brand with different sizes, but I want to give you guys some insights if you're interested in an AIO and still deciding should I go with 240 or should I go with 360, can it fit, how will it look, and similar stuff like that. So let's check that out. As I stated in the first part of the video, this is the same build as I did with the Vortex 240. The only difference is the 240 was on top, 360 is on front. And the cool thing that these Fusion 120 addressable RGB fans can actually give you guys is an outstanding design when it comes to having all fans equally. So equal design on all fans. So basically the AIO fans are on the front, 3 120 Fusion fans which come with the AIO. And I have 4 additional ones that come in this kind of box. Basically this is triple pack. So I have 2 triple packs, so I used one just to add it right here. So you don't worry about the actual color scheme and everything going around here. The AIO is connected to its original controller that you get inside this box. And the Fusion on top, the Fusion fans on top are connected with the controller that you get inside. So that's the color difference going on in this one. But it's cool to see actually what kind of modes of RGB lights you get with this one. But you've seen that in Vortex 240. Now for the temperatures. Now I'm a bit shocked and surprised. It might be something with the temperature here in my room and stuff like that. But the thermals on the 5600G, again, just because I wanted to have 240 and 360 and to see how it works. So 240 with just CPU and GPU checked in AIDA 64 Extreme Edition got 52 degrees Celsius. For the Vortex 360 you get 50 degrees Celsius. When we take CPU, FPU, cache and system memory, the 240 got 62 degrees Celsius and this one got 59, I would say somewhere around that. So it's not huge of a difference, but I think it's most likely because of the room temperature, maybe, I'm not sure. But that's those are the results. And I would say it's more, I'm quite surprised with the thermals, I have to say, I have to admit, because I didn't expect it to be so similar, even though there is a difference. And I think more difference in thermals we would be able to see during high-end CPUs. So for instance, 240 will have much higher temperatures than the 360. When we're talking about 5600G under full load, it might go the same as we have on graphic cards. So for instance, if you remember that RTX Supreme X3070 that I constantly use, it has constantly 62 degrees Celsius. It doesn't matter what kind of intake it has. Well, it slightly does, but mostly it's 62 degrees Celsius constantly. So this is what I'm trying to tell you when it comes to 5600G and the difference between Vortex 240 and Vortex 360. All in all, they're great. The pumps start immediately on 100%, so you do have to go and tweak it a bit in BIOS to get perfect, I would say, stabilization between the decibel noise, the speeds of the pump, and of course the cooling power, basically the thermals. So yeah, big thumbs up for ANTEC. Again, I mean, I'm constantly saying that in each video from the DP503 and DP505, because from that point we have a new era of ANTEC products which are really remarkable for the price that we pay, and they are really going forward. I have to say that in each video, because some of you guys are watching my channel for the first time and some of you are constantly watching each video, so I do have to sometimes repeat myself, even though some of you guys that are already a subscriber, you already know those things. But for the new ones that are watching, yeah, you do have to know that. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content. And I would like to thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will see you soon in another one. Bye bye.